The Heal Spirit, guys, is the worst 1 Elixir card inside of Clash Royale. The other 1 Elixir cards just simply get way more value, like the Electro Spirit, for example, chaining on top of a bunch of swarms like bats or maybe a graveyard. The Ice Spirit freezing things for such a long time. And then the Fire Spirit just dealing so much DPS, which is why pretty much the Heal Spirit, you're only going to see it occasionally in an off-meta Sparky deck, and it's just not really going to be getting that much value, even though it only costs 1 Elixir. The best 1 Elixir card in Clash Royale, guys, is of course the Skeletons, and I'm not even talking about the Evolved Skeletons, I'm talking about the regular version. They're simply the most valuable 1 Elixir card in the game. You can use them in so many different decks, and I'm going to show you guys these stats to back it up, as well as I'll do for every single best card for each Elixir. You can use them in so many different cycle decks, whether it's Hog, Royal Hogs, Goblin Drill, Log Bait, and even heavier decks like the Royal Giant. They just provide so much good of a distraction for only 1 Elixir. As you guys can see, in the top 200, there's 60 people using the Skeletons, which is 30% of the top 200. They're in Bridge Spam, Miner, Hog, Expo, Goblin Drill, you name it, a large variety of decks. Royal Giant, like I already mentioned, even Goblin Giant. You can make them work in just about every single deck in the game that you want to, which is why they are for sure the best 1 Elixir card inside of Clash Royale. The worst 2 Elixir card inside of Clash Royale, guys, is going to be the Goblins. The biggest issue for the Goblins is there's just so many replacements that are going to be a better option. Whether it's the Skeletons, the Goblin Gang, or the Guards, there's just going to be so many better substitutes that people are using instead, which is why pretty much the only deck you're going to see it is in Hog Executioner, but in other decks, those other cards I mentioned are just going to provide a lot more value in majority of circumstances. And the best 2 Elixir card, guys, is of course the Berserker. Recently, people have started to realize how good she actually is, and in my opinion, she's actually better than the Knight in most scenarios because she has so much health for only 2 Elixir, she doesn't die to a fireball, and she does so much DPS, making her a better option than other cards, even the Knight, in a lot of different scenarios. There are currently 46 people using the Berserker inside of the top 200 in a large variety of decks. She's going to be very good in bait spam decks, in different variations of Graveyard. Some have the Giant Skeleton, some have the Goblin Hut. She's also very good inside a Goblin Drill with the Golem as well, and more Goblin Drill, more bait decks, making her just a very versatile card that only costs 2 Elixir, recruits 2, as you can see, and that is why so many people are using her even over things like the Knight. The worst 3 Elixir card in the game is going to be the Void. I honestly think a lot of people forget sometimes that this card is even in the game. No one really knows when to use it. Every single spell is going to be more valuable than it, and pretty much every single troop as well. And you're just better off not using it because there's not really anything it fits in, except maybe Elixir Golem if you really want to, but even in that, there's just going to be better options. And the best 3 Elixir card in Clash Royale at the moment is definitely the Minions. Guys, ever since they increased the range of the Minions, it has made them so much better and way more threatening on offense in a large variety of decks, especially when they're paired with things like the Miner, for example, or if you have a tank in front of them like a Giant or a Golem, a Lava Hound. That range buff they got is so significant in a lot of situations, making them the most broken 3 Elixir card at the moment. As you guys can see, there's currently 53 people, which is over 25% of the top 200 running the Minions. They're going to be very good inside of Miner decks or things like Golem because you're having a tank that has so much health, keeping them alive for such a long time. Goblin Giant, Evo P.E.K.K.A as well. More Miner decks, Giant, Mega Knight, you name it, Minions are just fitting in so many different things, which is why one buff just made them the best 3 Elixir card in the game, and it's all it really took. The worst 4 Elixir card in Clash Royale, guys, right now is the Battle Healer. She's just not really a requirement inside of any deck. Even Elixir Golem decks don't even really use the Healer anymore. And Golem Healer isn't really a thing anymore either, making her pretty much useless, which is why I have her as the worst 4 Elixir card. Because on this list, guys, I am not doing evolutions. Otherwise, I would pick the 4 Elixir Evolved Furnace. The best 4 Elixir card, in my opinion, guys, is the Poison. It's so much better than the Fireball in this meta, because the Poison is able to take out the Furnace, which so many people are using, especially that Evolved Furnace. It's so satisfying to go in for the 4 Elixir Poison, able to take it out and get an even trade, as well as damaging your opponent's tower. It's also going to pair very well inside of graveyard decks, and it's also going to be a good counter to the graveyard, which is the best win condition in the game at the moment, in my opinion, which is why it's such a good 4 Elixir card. As you guys can see, 46 people inside of the top 200 are running the Poison, which is over 20%. It's going to be very good inside of minor decks, graveyard decks, as I already mentioned, and it's going to be a good counter to the graveyard, which so many people are running too. As you guys can see, those are going to be the main 2 decks it's good in, but some people are even running them inside of recruit decks, bridge spam decks, and more, making it significantly better than the Fireball inside of this current meta, and there's a lot of people running it inside of Goblin Drill and Mortar too. The worst 5 Elixir card in the game, guys, in my opinion, is going to be the regular Wizard. He is just way too vulnerable to spells like the Fireball, the Poison, and even the Lightning is going to get a good trade against him, and you're just going to be better off running so many different support cards instead of him, which is why, for the most part, the main place you're going to see the regular Wizard without even the evolution is only going to be mid-ladder for the most part. The best 5 Elixir card in the game, though, guys, in my opinion, is going to be the Graveyard, which is also the best win condition currently, in my opinion, as well. Ever since they reworked the Furnace, as well as the Goblin Hut, it has helped Graveyard so much. It also has that randomness aspect of it where you don't know where the heck the skeletons are going to spawn, which can make it really frustrating to deal with, which is why it's such a good 5 Elixir card at the moment, and I would say the best. As you guys can see, there's 36 people using the Graveyard inside of the top 200, which is almost 20%. A lot of people are running it with the Spirit Empress and the Goblin Hut, but there's also some people running it with the Giant Skeleton and the Curse. Some different Goblin Hut variations here, especially very good with the Evo Furnace, but also there's Graveyard Freeze, Giant Graveyard, making it a pretty versatile win condition because you can pair so many different support cards with it to your liking. So it really comes down to preference what variant you want to run, because there's so many different ones that are going to be viable. The worst 6 Elixir card in Clash Royale, guys, is of course going to be the Barbarian Hut. In my opinion, this card needs a rework, kind of like the Furnace or the Goblin Hut got, because as it currently stands, it is just not very good. It's way too vulnerable to spells like the Poison and the Fireball, and especially the Earthquake, and it's just not really a requirement inside of any deck, so it's never seen in the meta. The best 6 Elixir card, though, guys, is the Spirit Empress. Now, to clarify, the ground form is 3 Elixir. I'm referring, of course, to the Dragon Rider form. That is 6 Elixir. She's so valuable, has so much health. She doesn't even die to a Lightning plus a Zap. She deals so much damage as well, and she's just incredibly versatile. Ever since they gave her a buff, she has been absolutely broken in everywhere inside of the meta. As you guys can see, there's 42 people using the Spirit Empress inside of the top 200, which is over 25%. She's going to be very good inside of bridge spam decks, especially with the Ram Rider. She's also very good inside of Graveyard, as you can see. Golem decks, some people running her with the Hog Rider, Goblin Giant, Evo P.E.K.K.A, some different Ram Rider variations with the Mega Knight, Mortar, P.E.K.K.A bridge spam, recruits. So as you can tell, just about every single thing in the game, which is why so many people consider her completely broken, and maybe her flying form is in need of a nerf. You can see Lava Hound as well. She combos very nicely. The worst 7 Elixir card in the game currently, guys, is the Electro Giant. I also just think in general it's one of the worst win conditions in the game as well. Ever since they buffed the minions, and the minions can actually outrange the Electro Giant's circle, he has been a lot worse since then, and he's just so difficult to get to the tower, especially if the opponent has a building or even a high DPS card like a P.E.K.K.A. And the best 7 Elixir card, guys, in my opinion, is definitely the Lava Hound. Now, there's only 3 to choose from. There's basically the E-Giant, the Recruits, and the Lava Hound. And if we're talking about the regular Recruits, I definitely think the Lava Hound is a lot better. It's flying, so there's only a few things in your deck typically that are going to actually be able to hit it, and if you don't have a lot of air counters, it can be really difficult to deal with. It's going to be a really good tank to pair with things like the Miner and the Balloon, which are very strong in the meta, and of course the Spirit Empress. There's currently 7 people inside of the top 200 using the Lava Hound. Definitely not a lot, but more than the Electro Giant and the regular Royal Recruits without the evolution, so definitely going to be a solid card to use compared to a lot of the other expensive cards in the game. You can pair it with a lot of different spells and support cards, especially with the Spirit Empress. It's going to be very strong, and it's a decent card if you want to make it work. The only 8 Elixir card in the game, guys, is the Golem, and he is actually a lot better recently ever since his Golemite damage has been increased. And also just with the recent meta where it's nice to have a tank for the Spirit Empress and the Furnace, he definitely comes in handy as a win condition. There's currently 11 people inside of the top 200 running the Golem, which is pretty decent for an 8 Elixir card. It's even more than the Lava Hound. He especially is going to pair very well with the Spirit Empress and the Evolved Furnace, as you would expect, but then there's some people using him with the Fireball and the Goblin Curse and other spells, so a pretty versatile win condition ever since he got that buff, that's for sure. And lastly, guys, we got the 9 Elixir 3 Musketeers. They're the only 9 Elixir card in the game. They're also one of the worst cards in the game, and I think they need a buff or an evolution or a rework, in my opinion, because there's actually no one using this card currently inside of the top 200. And that's basically it for the list and the Elixir costs. Like, subscribe, you can use creator code BOSS to support me in any Supercell game, and let me know in the comments below if you guys disagree with any of my list.